we're doing an update on my 20-gallon hexagon terrarium that I turned into a Bego tank. In here, I house some of my rare begonias, and things are looking pretty good in here. I ended up changing the amount of time that I've had the light on because I was experiencing leaf loss, and I'm thinking that it was either too humid in here or there wasn't enough light to dry out the plants in time and would cause some leaf loss. So I went from 6 hours to 12 hours. Let me bring you inside the terrarium so you can see what's going on in here. This is what it's looking like. One of my favorite begonias that are in here is the B2 begonia. This is a hybrid and it has gone absolutely wild in here. It is very tall. It is also very top heavy and I want to chop it. I am also very scared to chop it, but it definitely needs it. It also needs to be watered. All of my plants get watered on Thursdays and 2 days a day. This is very dried out. But as you can see, we have some babies down here, which means that I have insurance. And oh, are you? Okay. We'll talk about this one in a second because I'm experiencing some issues with this cutting that I did not that long ago. I want to take a cutting of this guy and I think we're going to do it today. So I'm going to need you to hold my hand while I do it. What other plants that we have going on in here? My metallic dragon. I really want to pull it out so I can take a good look at what's going on with this guy. Look at how beautiful. Oh my goodness. Look how big this leaf is. Can you see this? Hold on. I'm going to go get you another light so you can really see what's going on. Is that mold that I'm experiencing down here? Why is this? Oh, I don't like that. Why is that black in here like that? Yeah, no, I don't like that. I'm seeing some dark color on the moss and I really hope that that's not mold. I do have a fan in here. Ouch. And I think it needs to be circulating a little bit better. So I just changed the position of it. So anywho, let me go get you a light so you can see what's going on here. You're going to see this much better. Look. Do you see that deep hue of blue and purple and reds and just all this goodness? He's so full. How many plants are in here? There's 2 plants, but it's offshooting a lot of babies in here, and it's even giving me some flowers. We have a female flower up here. This looks a little swollen up here because I don't pollinate any of my plants, but since they're such in close quarters, I wonder if they would pollinate themselves because I have experienced that with one of my plants before, but not a begonia. All right, so you need some water. Who else do we have? This is the 20V1. I don't know the hybrid. Oh my gosh, that's the second time. This one's doing pretty good. I'm thinking that it needs a soil refresh because I need that stem to get a little bit stronger. But overall, she's such a cutie. Her flowers are adorbs. A bunch of female flowers on here as well, but very cute. Also needs some water. All right, let's talk about the cutting that keeps falling. I don't know if it's trying to tell me something, but this is a Begonia Sarawak. I took a cutting from the mom plant and I stuck it in some fluval perlite, and for some reason, it's just not taking well. Keeps popping out, but she did give me a new leaf, which is a good sign, but she has no roots, but she's still alive. This environment in here has a very good setting for cuttings that they end up thriving. All right, then we have this guy right here that I had to repropagate because the cuttings from before ended up rotting on me because I put too much water in here. So right now it's looking a little wonky, and I'm hoping once it starts to grow some roots that it'll be a lot happier. But right now, nothing. Oh, I'm getting a little bit of roots right here. That's not even inside of the stratum. No. So I have a Begonia Feryx in here that looks like it's struggling at the moment. I feel like it's going to end up losing this stem. But we do have some, actually, nope, that one rotted. That's why I ended up putting the light for a little bit longer. But we have a new growth point coming from this little corner right here. Do you see it? Yeah, that's cool. It is a very finicky plant, so I'm being very patient with it. My red spotted begonia is the one that started giving me some leaf loss, and one of the main reasons why I ended up raising the amount of hours that the light goes off in here. Taco Night begonia is doing pretty good. Yes. All right, let's talk about the Sarah Draco. I ended up finding root mealies on this plant, and I ended up cutting back a bunch of leaves because they started melting like this. And I knew that there was something going on with the roots, and I ended up finding root mealies. So I repotted it, and then I put it back in this tank, and we have new leaves coming. So I caught it in time, and now we have all these new offshoots. I should probably cut this stem back a little bit, but look, a new offshoot there, new leaf here, And new leaf down there. What's happening here? This is great news. I thought the root mealies ended up killing the plant entirely, but no, we have new growth. And I really should be putting this more towards the light, but I don't really have much space up here, only towards the bottom. The taconite kind of takes over a lot of the light because the leaves get so big. Go back in your place, please. All right, so overall, everybody seems pretty good in here. I do have some empty spaces like this one here, and I have some places that I need to add more cups, but I need to go and take care of this guy. So let's go chop the B2 begonia. We're gonna be chopping my B2 begonia. I'm really scared. I'm also very nervous because sometimes when I take a chop, the stem ends up rotting out if I don't keep the humidity really good. But what I'm gonna do is chop it. Since we have a lot of offshoots down here, we're just gonna put this right back in the tank where it came from and then propagate the top. All right, so before I start, let me sanitize my shears. First things first, sanitize your shears. Shears, rubbing alcohol, oh, and clean. We do not want to transfer any bacteria when it comes to this plant. I want this to be as successful as possible. This will be my second time trying to propagate this plant. My first go around did not go so well. Brace yourselves. I think we're gonna do it from right here. We're fine. I'm going to take this plant and I'm gonna put it as close to the light as possible so that way this stem can dry out and not rot out. All right, we're just gonna put this aside for right now. Maybe I should put this away. Let me go and put this back inside the tank. I'll be back. Here we go now. This is what we're working with. Let's work a little fast. I have 4 leaves here and it looks like 2 leaves are about to push out. Now I am wondering, should I do 4 different chops so that way we have more insurance, or do I just stick the whole thing in something to propagate this plant? I need to hurry up and think fast. This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna chop between this and this node so we can have 1 prop here at the bottom, 1 prop. Then I'm going to remove this leaf. I'm going to remove this entire stem because this is its own plant over here. Then we're going to chop this stem off. So we have propagation number 2, all right? And then we could just stick this entire plant in some fluval stratum and perlite and see what happens. I'm going to take this piece of this leaf off. Now this prop, I think I'm gonna do a water propagation for this one. These are some of my reused cups. This one's clean. I really hope that this props. I really hope. All right, first things first, we're gonna go in with our prop drops, put a couple in the cup. I'm not gonna put that much water in the cup. I'm going to just fill it to where the nodes are. So put it in the cup and then we're gonna get filling. All right, here we go. Propagation number 1. To house my propagation, I'm gonna use this very big cloche because the leaves are so large and I wanna give it enough room to breathe, but to also hold its humidity. And I think I'm gonna place another one. Oh gosh, the leaves are so big. It might just need to be in here by itself. Put that flower down that way. All right, it's gonna have to house in there by itself. I don't really have much room more to put another propagation in there. Next, we're gonna put that guy right there. I don't really have much time to think right now. I'm also going to do another water propagation. No, I'm gonna do a fluval stratum for this guy with some perlite. Yes, go with the smaller cup so we don't have to do too much for that one. And then same thing with this guy. I don't know if I should cut off all these flowers so we could just focus on growing a new leaf instead of producing flowers. And then this leaf prop, I'm going to stick it into some, I'm not going to do moss. I guess some fluval stratum and perlite as well. Eek. Again, we're going to go in with my propagation drops. Let me get the fluval stratum perlite. Ooh, all my lights just turned off. Wait, right? Because there was another node at the bottom? I think so. Yes. So 1, I like to put a couple of chunkier pieces of perlite at the bottom so it can have some room to breathe, like so. And then for this guy, I'm really thinking that I should do the perlite fluval stratum as well and see if something can come from it. All right, I think we're good. Hold on, let me just take off this melted leaf. I don't know why I just did 1 prop, but the cloches, I like to prop more with water. I'm gonna try to fit another propagation in that cloche with that 1 plant. All right, I drops. I didn't put prop drops in this one, so let me put some in there. And then we're gonna fill with some water. I'm not gonna drench it. I'm just gonna dampen the fluval because I really want to test and see how they do in all of their different environments. One being cloached in here. I just really hope this one holds. Oh shit. Perfect. All right, let's see. All right, we got everybody in. Everybody is sitting in their substrate. I really hope this one's sitting well. Shoot. All right, I think we're good. Cloached begonia. This is going to hold 100% humidity. These two guys, I'm going to put one back in the 20-gallon hexagon tank, and I think I'm going to go with this one. And for this guy, I'm going to put this one in my 20-gallon long tank. And wish them well, send them a kiss and a prayer, because I'm very, very nervous. I really did that plant in. I can't believe that I chopped it, but I have a lot of hope for this plant. I really do. And I'm going to put this back in the light to make sure that it's going to get enough light to start producing roots.